Have you ever noticed how your motivation fades right before things start working? Like something inside you leaks momentum before reality can respond. It happens in the quiet moments. You build up a vision, you feel the surge of a new possibility, you commit to a change, and for a few days the energy is electric. You feel different, the world looks different. But then, just as the external world is about to shift to match your internal state, the battery dies. The certainty evaporates. The clarity becomes fog. It isn't that you stopped wanting it. It isn't that the universe said no. It is something far more mechanical and far more overlooked. You suffered a cognitive leak. The pressure required to crystallize a new reality accumulated, but the vessel of your attention couldn't hold the charge long enough for the collapse of probability to occur. If this question already feels uncomfortably familiar, hit like right now so this message reaches others who feel blocked but can't explain why. And tell me in the comments, where do you feel your energy drains the most? We often mistake this phenomenon for self-sabotage, or we label it as a lack of discipline, but those are judgments, not explanations. What you are experiencing is a physics problem of the mind. Manifestation, in its most grounded scientific sense, is the sustained application of coherent energy upon a specific probability until it hardens into fact. But most of us are walking around with a cracked vessel. We pour more desire in, we pour more effort in, we pour more visualization in, but we never check the seal. The energy drains out through invisible fissures in our attention, our micro-emotions, and our fractured identities before it can build the necessary pressure to bend reality. I also created a free ebook called The Magic of Affirmations to help seal identity leaks and stabilize your inner signal. You'll find it waiting in the description. Let's dismantle this architecture of leakage, because once you see where the power is going, you can stop forcing the output and start sealing the input. This is about cognitive leakage. This is about why your energy drains before the manifestation appears. To understand this, we have to look at the brain not just as a thinking machine, but as a broadcasting tower that requires a specific voltage to maintain a signal. When you decide to manifest something, whether it is a certain amount of wealth, a relationship, or a physical healing, you are essentially instructing your neural networks to encode a pattern that does not yet exist in your sensory environment. You are asking your brain to process a future memory as if it were a current reality. This requires a massive amount of metabolic and electromagnetic energy. Neuroplasticity is expensive. To wire a new neural pathway that supports a new identity requires focus, caloric burn, and emotional regulation. The brain, however, is designed for efficiency, not transformation. It prioritizes survival and homeostasis. When you introduce a high-voltage desire, the brain immediately scans for the path of least resistance. If your attention is scattered, if your identity is fragmented between who you want to be and who you have been, the brain perceives this new signal as noise rather than a command. This is where the leak begins. It doesn't happen in the big moments of doubt, it happens in the microscopic transitions of your day. It happens when you finish a powerful visualization session and immediately pick up your phone to scroll through social media. That split-second switch is a massive rupture in coherence. You built up a charge, a specific frequency of "I am the person who has this," and within 3 seconds, you dispersed that energy into a dopamine loop that reinforces the identity of a passive consumer. Think about the cost of that transition. The energy you gathered wasn't lost, it was leaked. It was siphoned off into a distraction that holds no return on investment. This is the economics of attention. Every thought you think, every emotional reaction you suppress, every piece of information you process is a debit from your cognitive bank account. Manifestation requires a surplus. You cannot build a new house if you are spending every dollar you earn on rent for the old one. Similarly, you cannot build a new reality if you are spending every unit of cognitive energy maintaining the old one. The science of attention tells us that a fractured focus signals to the nervous system that there is no urgent priority. When you multitask, or when you allow background anxiety to run like an open tab on a browser, you are telling the quantum field, and your own reticular activating system that nothing is important. Coherence is the quality of waves moving together in phase. A laser is coherent light. A light bulb is incoherent light. One can cut through steel. The other can barely illuminate a room. Most people are operating like light bulbs, scattering their intent in 360 degrees, wondering why they can't cut through the obstacles in their life. Cognitive leakage is the mechanism that keeps you incoherent. This leakage often manifests through emotional micro-reactions. Consider the person who is manifesting financial abundance. They do their morning routine, they feel expansive, they feel wealthy. Then, 2 hours later, they open an email with a bill or a rejection. Watch what happens in the body. There is a micro-contraction, a sudden spike of cortisol, a tightening in the solar plexus. In that millisecond, the coherent signal of abundance is interrupted by a survival signal of scarcity. If this reaction is unchecked, the leak widens. The person spirals into worry. The energy they spent the morning gathering is now being burned as fuel for the anxiety. By noon, they are exhausted. They feel heavy. They think maybe it's not working. But the reality didn't fail to respond. The signal failed to hold. The energy drained into the old neural pathway of fear before it could stabilize the new pathway of wealth. This is why intensity burns energy, while calm coherence stabilizes outcomes. We are often taught that we need to want it bad enough, that we need to pump ourselves up. But high-intensity emotion is unsustainable. You cannot scream at the universe for 12 hours a day. High intensity creates high entropy. It burns out. What stabilizes a manifestation is a low hum, steady-state coherence, a signal that doesn't spike and crash, but endures. Cognitive leakage prevents this endurance. It bleeds off the pressure required to normalize the new reality. We have to talk about identity fragmentation, because this is perhaps the largest drain of all. We live in a world that demands we wear multiple masks. You are one person at work, another with your family, another online, and another in the privacy of your own mind. Each of these avatars requires energy to maintain. Each has its own set of rules, behaviors, and expectations. When you try to manifest a new reality, you are essentially introducing a new avatar, the you who already has the desire. But if you are still spending 80% of your energy propping up the old avatars, there is no resources left for the new one to take root. You are experiencing a subconscious identity conflict. Your subconscious mind is a loyal servant. It wants to keep you consistent. If you spend your day reacting to the world as the old you, the subconscious will treat the new you as a threat, a deviation, an error code. It will try to correct you back to the baseline. This correction feels like fatigue. It feels like brain fog. It feels like a sudden loss of interest. That isn't you giving up. That is your system trying to close the leak by shutting down the expansion. Let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah was a graphic designer who wanted to transition into being a full-time artist. She had the talent, she had the vision. Every morning she would visualize her gallery opening. She could smell the paint, hear the chatter of the crowd, feel the pride. But by 2 p.m. every day, she felt completely drained, almost paralyzed. She would find herself staring at her computer screen, unable to work on her client projects, but also too exhausted to paint. She thought she was lazy. She thought she was depressed. She wasn't. She was leaking. We tracked her day. We found that while she was working her corporate job, she was running a constant background commentary of resentment. I hate this. This is beneath me. I shouldn't be here. This internal resistance was a massive energy leak. She was spending all her available cognitive power fighting her current reality. By the time she had a free moment to paint, her battery was at zero. The leak wasn't in her art. The leak was in her resistance to the non-art parts of her life. Resistance is friction, and friction creates heat, and heat is energy loss. Once she learned to accept her current job as the investor in her art career, once she stopped resisting and started flowing, The leak stopped. She had energy left at 5 p.m. The manifestation appeared not because she tried harder, but because she stopped draining the fuel she needed to get there. Then there is the story of Marcus. Marcus wanted love. He wanted a deep, conscious partnership. He did the work. He cleared the trauma. But he had a digital leak. He was addicted to the dopamine hit of dating apps. He would swipe for hours, judging, assessing, seeking validation. This constant evaluation kept his brain in a state of searching, not having. Searching is a frequency of lack. You only search for what you do not have. Every swipe was a micro leak of the feeling of wholeness he was trying to cultivate. His attention was fragmented across hundreds of potential faces, leaving no density of focus for the one reality he wanted to collapse. When he deleted the apps and focused on becoming the partner he wanted to attract, the leak sealed. The signal became coherent. He met someone 3 weeks later in a bookstore. The reality responded when the signal stopped fracturing. These stories illustrate a critical point. The leak is rarely where you think it is. You think the leak is in your doubt about the desire. Usually, the leak is in your relationship to everything else. It is in how you drive your car in traffic. Are you leaking peace to frustration? It is in how you eat your food. Are you leaking presence to distraction? It is in how you listen to a friend. Are you leaking connection to impatience? How you do anything is how you do everything. If you are leaking energy in the mundane moments, you will not have the compression required for the miraculous moments. We must understand the role of the subconscious background processes. Your brain is like a computer running too many open applications. You might be working on a Word document, your conscious manifestation, but in the background there are programs running. Fear of judgment.exe, am I good enough.exe, what will they say.exe. These programs consume RAM, they consume processing power. Cognitive leakage occurs when we allow these background programs to run unchecked. We don't notice them because they are humdrum, white noise, but they are eating your battery. This is where we must confront the concept of the observer in quantum mechanics. The act of observation affects the outcome. But what happens when the observer is distracted? What happens when the observer is tired? What happens when the observer looks away every 5 seconds to check if the water is boiling? The pot never boils. Not because the laws of physics changed, but because the thermal energy is being dispersed by the constant disruption of the lid being lifted. We are constantly lifting the lid on our manifestations. Is it here yet? Did the text come? Is the money in the account? This checking is a leak. It is a leak of faith, yes, but more physically, it is a leak of focus. It resets the quantum gestation period. It pulls the seed up by the roots to see if it's growing. The digital age has weaponized cognitive leakage. We are engineered to be fragmented. The algorithms are designed to fracture your attention into monetizable slivers. When you are scrolling, you are in a state of rapid-fire context switching. Sad news, funny cat, political outrage, friend's baby, advertisement. Your brain has to adjust its emotional and chemical state every 3 seconds. This is exhausting. It leaves you in a state of continuous partial attention. In this state, you cannot manifest, you can only react. Manifestation is a proactive imposition of will upon chaos. If you are reacting, you are the chaos. To seal the leak, you must reclaim your sovereignty over your inputs. Now, let us move into the deeper mechanics of the cognitive seal. How do we stop the drain? How do we solder the cracks in the vessel? It requires a protocol of cognitive sealing. This is not about being rigid. It is not about suppressing your thoughts. It is about slowing down the internal frame rate of your experience so that you can catch the leak before it dumps your power. Imagine your attention is a fluid, a golden liquid light. Right now, visualize it. It is pouring out of your eyes, your ears, your fingertips. It is pooling on the floor. It is flowing into your phone, into the past, into the future. Pull it back. Call your attention back from the conversation you had yesterday. Call it back from the worry about tomorrow's meeting. Call it back from the opinion of the stranger on the internet. Feel the liquid returning to the center of your body. Feel the vessel filling up. This is the first step, recognition of the dispersion. The cognitive sealing protocol begins with the practice of single-tasking reality. This means whatever you are doing only that. If you are washing dishes, you are only washing dishes. You are feeling the water. You are smelling the soap. You are not thinking about your manifestation. You are not thinking about your problems. You are sealing the leak of being elsewhere. When you practice being fully here, you train the brain to hold a signal without wavering. This builds the neurological muscle required to hold the vision of your desire without wavering later. You cannot hold a future vision if you cannot hold a present moment. Next, we must address the internal commentary leak. This is the voice that narrates your life, usually with a critical tone. Why did I say that? That was stupid. I look tired. This voice is a parasite. It feeds on your creative energy. To seal this leak, you do not fight the voice. You objectify it. You hear it and you label it. Oh, that is the critic program running. By labeling it, you detach your identity from it. You stop fueling it with your belief. You let it spin itself out like a fan that has been unplugged. It might turn for a while longer, but without your power, it will eventually stop. There is a profound connection between cognitive leakage and the mirror principle. Reality mirrors signal strength. If your internal signal is weak, intermittent, or static-filled, the external reflection will be weak, intermittent, and static-filled. You will get almost results. You will get maybe outcomes. You will see signs, but not the destination. This is the universe reflecting your leakage back to you. It is showing you the holes in your bucket. When you see a manifestation stall, do not ask, why isn't it coming? Ask, where am I leaking? What if nothing is blocking you except dispersion? What if the only barrier between you and the life you visualize is the fact that you haven't been able to hold the image steady enough for long enough without checking your phone, without judging yourself, without escaping into cheap dopamine? The mirror cannot reflect a moving target clearly. You are blurring your own reflection by constantly vibrating with distraction. We must also speak of the identity leak. This happens when you seek validation from the outside to confirm who you are on the inside. If you need the external world to tell you that you are successful, beautiful, or worthy, you are leaking your power to the external world. You are creating a dependency loop. Manifestation works from the inside out. You must claim the identity first. You must seal the identity within your own heart. I am this, period. No question mark, no right, no looking around for approval. When you seek approval, you leak authority. When you leak authority, reality treats you like a subordinate, not a commander. The protocol requires periods of zero output. We are obsessed with output, doing, creating, posting, talking. But the battery recharges in silence. You need moments in your day where you consume nothing and produce nothing. You just exist. You let the sediment settle in the water of your mind. In these moments of stillness, the leaks reveal themselves. You will feel the itch to grab the phone. That's a leak. You will feel the urge to worry. That's a leak. You will feel the need to fix someone else's problem. That's a leak. Observe them. Do not act on them. By not acting, you seal them. You rewrite the neural pathway. You tell your brain, we do not spend energy there anymore. We keep it here. We keep it for the creation. I want you to feel this physically. Imagine your energy field as a sphere around you. When you leak, the sphere has jagged edges, it has holes, it looks like a deflated balloon. When you seal, the sphere becomes taut, it becomes luminous, it vibrates with a hum of potential. This is the state of coherent accumulation. When you are in this state, you don't need to force manifestation. You become magnetic. Gravity does the work for you. Mass attracts. Energy mass attracts. When you stop leaking, your energetic mass increases. You become a heavier object in the fabric of space-time, and naturally, things start to orbit you. Opportunities fall into your lap not because you chased them, but because you possess the gravitational pull of a sealed, coherent star. The confusion often lies in the difference between effort and alignment. Effort is trying to push a car with the parking brake on. Alignment is releasing the brake. Cognitive leakage is the parking brake. It is the friction of 10,000 tiny subconscious resistances grinding against your desire. When you seal the leaks, you release the brake. Suddenly, a small amount of intention goes a very long way. You think a thought, and it happens. You ask for a sign, and it appears. The delay time shortens. The lag between the broadcast and the reflection disappears.
But you must be vigilant. The world is designed to puncture you. The news is designed to puncture your peace. Advertising is designed to puncture your sense of sufficiency. You must become the guardian of your own attention. This is not about isolation, it is about insulation. You can be in the world, but you must not let the world drain your battery. You can engage, but you must not merge with the noise. Take a deep breath right now. Notice where your mind went just then. Did it jump to the to-do list? Did it jump to a regret? That is the leak. Gently bring it back. Bring it back to the sound of my voice. Bring it back to the sensation of your body in the chair. This act of bringing it back, this is the rep. This is the bicep curl of consciousness. Every time you catch a leak and plug it with presence, you become more powerful. There's a subtle trap in the spiritual community of processing everything. We think we need to analyze every emotion, dissect every trauma constantly. While healing is vital, constant processing can become a leak. It keeps you focused on the wound, not the healing. It keeps you identified with the brokenness, not the wholeness. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is not to process the emotion, but to simply let it pass through you without attaching a story to it. I feel sadness. Okay, don't write a novel about it. Don't analyze its childhood origins for the 1,000th time. Just feel it and let it go. Preserve your energy for the creation of the new rather than the excavation of the old. As you begin to practice cognitive sealing, you will notice a change in your physical vitality. You will need less sleep. Your eyes will look brighter. You will speak with more authority. People will start treating you differently. They will sense that you are all there. Most people are only 10% there. When they meet someone who is 100% there, it is arresting. It is charismatic. It is commanding. This presence is the raw material of manifestation. It is the clay from which you sculpt your life. Consider the laser again. Diffused light is harmless. Coherent light is surgical. Your attention has been diffused for too long. It has been spread thin over worries that never happened, over people who don't care, over content that doesn't matter. It is time to call it back. It is time to focus the beam. When you do, you will find that the resistance you thought was out there was actually just the lack of pressure in here. You were trying to cut through a wall with a flashlight. Now you will cut through it with a laser. The transition from a leaking vessel to a sealed vessel is the journey from victimhood to creatorhood. A victim leaks energy to the environment. A creator sources energy from within and projects it onto the environment. This shift is subtle but total. It changes the direction of the flow. Instead of the world draining you, you overflow into the world. Before you go, I want to ask you something important. Where do you feel your energy leaks the most right now? Your thoughts, your emotions, or your attention? Share it in the comments. Someone else needs to read your answer. Seeing that you are not alone in this drain is the first step to plugging it. We are all learning to become better operators of this complex machinery. If this clarified something you felt for a long time, hit like so this message reaches others stuck in the same invisible drain.
The algorithm is just a mirror. Let's make it reflect clarity. And don't forget to download the Magic of Affirmations. It's designed to help you seal the signal you're already generating, so you don't have to work harder, just smarter. Remember, the delay in your manifestation is not a denial. It is a waiting period for your signal to stabilize. The universe is listening, but it is waiting for a clear command. Stop mumbling with your energy. Speak clearly. Seal the leaks. Hold the tone. You were never broken. Your signal was just leaking, and now you know how to hold it.